Hi Taurus, welcome to your October 2017 love reading. It's Rena here, shuffling the cards. Ooh, I'm going to have to pick both of these for the heart of the matter. That doesn't happen very often, but I'm not choosing. Let's put this back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pick a extra card because the double card isn't really the kind of card that I end the readings on. Not because it's perceived as negative. It's because it doesn't have the kind of finality to it. It kind of describes situations more than any kind of movement like you expect with a outcome card. So I did pick two cards that connect to the focus. Now, the Knight of Swords could be a person in your life that's an air sign. And for Taurus, this can be specifically Aquarius, but the other ones are Gemini and Libra. And this person will tend to be very blunt. With the Knight of Swords, the person could actually be a fire sign with air also very, present. But this person can be very blunt, outspoken, very, what you see is what you get. They can be very passionate about their beliefs, and that can also relate to a lawyer. And the card that I got with it is the Ten of Cups, which is a card of marriage. So, lawyers and marriage, how do they go together? Divorce? But this is a card of family joy, family unity, celebrating something, a wedding. So, will you meet a lawyer at a wedding and you like this person? I don't know. But both of these cards, you could meet a new partner at some kind of gathering, especially if it's a family gathering. But there's a sense that, and I guess in some cases, that may be a facet of you. The Knight of Swords could be you being a lot more assertive in your life. Because we have in the past position a card of sadness, of mourning the loss of something. So it is likely some kind of relationship that didn't work out. And as a result of that, you may say to yourself, I should have done X, Y, and Z. Maybe I did not stand up for myself as much as I needed to. And this time around, in this time at the rodeo, I'm going to be more assertive. I'm not going to let somebody walk all over me like they did last time. If that is true for you in some way, it would be you learning from past mistakes and owning up to your part of the dance. The other party may have created a situation where you felt disappointed if they cheated, if they rejected you, because the Five of Cups can feel that sense of dejection, like they chose somebody else or they just walked away from the relationship, and you are left picking up the pieces emotionally. But when you are in a mood for reflection, you may see what you could have done differently on your end of things. And it makes you feel like you have more control of your life. What's happening right now is connected to the Moon card. what this can suggest is that if you have met somebody recently, that you need to really see the situation as it is, because sometimes the moon card can indicate self-deception. If that Knight of Swords is an actual person and is not you reforming your behavior, then it may be more of the same, where you're in a situation you don't really have all the information about this person. The other thing too is that there is going to be a full moon in your sign on November 4th, and that could be you becoming aware of something with like a marriage partner even. So the Ten of Cups with that Knight of Swords, that could be something that maybe that person is a Pisces, because the moon card is connected to Pisces. Maybe that's the person that you've met, and they have some kind of skeletons in the closet or something that is going to be revealed at some point. But I do want to say that it could also be Cancer or Scorpio individual. And Scorpio is your opposite sign, so some of you have dealt with Scorpios, I'm sure, in a romantic context in the past. The higher message. The Nine of Pentacles is about independence, financial independence. But it's, you know, financial independence is, I would say it is still symbolic of something else, which is a sense of security that you can give to yourself. You are Earth, and that is connected to the Pentacles. And it's possible that you think in terms of being with a partner because you want to build a life, and that includes the material concerns. But putting them in proper context is always essential in order to really appreciate what your life is supposed to be like. So your life, and I'm talking about your romantic life, is supposed to be mutual trust. It's supposed to be mutual affection. That's what a relationship is supposed to be. If you feel like you don't trust somebody, and the moon card could indicate something is not quite, you're not quite aware of something, but you may be lying to yourself on a certain level. The Nine of Pentacles is about honoring your independence and not automatically needing, you know, like from a reflexive, is that a right way of putting it? Not the reflex to automatically be to get involved in a new relationship if you're getting divorced or if you've been rejected from another person because of like insecurity, for instance. The other thing about the Nine of Pentacles is it could be saying, and I would say especially with the sign of Virgo, because Virgo is the 9th month of September, and it is a Pentacles like you. It is an earth sign, as is Capricorn. But it could be saying that this is a person that really is good for you. Maybe you've overlooked somebody because you want somebody who's more dangerous, somebody who's more, you don't really know where you stand with them. And there may be a perfectly dependable, solid Virgo or somebody else who kind of embodies that sense of solidity that you kind of glossed over because, or looked over because, well, I think you know what I mean. People who are available sometimes are the ones that get looked over because people, until they really understand the value of being consistent and being responsible and those kinds of traits, being caring versus being somebody who is aloof and doesn't give you the kind of regular affection that you need, and that makes you kind of want it more, withholding. Those kinds of people who are withholding, they tend to attract those who feel the need to prove themselves. So it can be kind of like this symbiotic relationship in a weird way. What crosses you is the Queen of Swords. This card, I did get this for another sign. I don't know if it, yeah, and it was in the same position. This is about the ways that a person can, and this is especially because it has that feminine aspect to it, of using words as a weapon in order to cut somebody down to size. If this is a facet of you, this would be as a result of feeling bitterness, perhaps, over a past relationship where you felt that you were being rejected and not treated as well as you should have been. And really what happens when you do that, if that's something that you identify with, and you may feel justified in being like that, but what happens is that it keeps you in that pattern with that person. And while you may feel like you want to tell them exactly how they've made you feel and even hurt them because you feel hurt, what ends up happening is that it's hard to move on with your life, because then it becomes this big drama. Swords can indicate that there is some kind of strife. And with that Five of Cups, it could be due to your feelings of having been rejected. But you have to resist the urge to strike back. You have to be the bigger person. The advice is the High Priestess, and this is about going within and connecting with your higher self, which is that part of you that is connected to God at all times and has the knowledge of the spiritual realm. And so it's like when people meditate, that's kind of what they are tapping into. And the High Priestess is another card like the Moon card, which not only talks about intuitive activities, but also about things that may be revealed, that secrets that are being kept. And so it may be also just kind of reiterating that you will be able to, you will see something be exposed. And it might be with that former partner, or it might be with somebody that you have met recently. And that will kind of give you more understanding, because you may be feeling a bit confused. The Moon card can be about confusion. And if there is confusion, usually it's because the person senses that something below the surface is going on, and they just can't put their finger on it. It's kind of interesting how that happens. A lot of people are intuitive, but they kind of shrug it off. They try to explain it away. And, oh gosh, it's like this train never ends. But anyway, the outcome is the Devil card, and I did pick an additional card. This card is about material temptations. And the big one would be, especially for Taurus, the pleasures of the flesh. I sound like a Baptist preacher. But actually, that could be something that is dealing with this issue of the Moon card and the High Priestess. Perhaps you have started a relationship with somebody and you feel that there might be something else going on, and it might be a physical relationship, but perhaps you have already discovered things that you don't like about this situation. And because of this, you might know intuitively that you should get away from it, but you can't. You know, you're kind of hooked into it. It's also possible that this is dealing with that past person. And maybe you feel a sense of attachment because you had a great sexual chemistry, or you had even like dealing with money issues. I think as the higher message, that Nine of Pentacles is also suggesting that you don't need somebody else's money. You have enough of your own, but you may not believe that. You may feel, because that's what I was saying earlier. I was saying that sometimes people's desire for a relationship is overly practical, where they think, okay, we're going to combine our incomes, we're going to do it, and it's like a little bit too much like a business arrangement and not enough of the actual mutual affection. I picked an additional card, and what did I get? Another Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is about being an efficient money manager. And if there is, now the Devil card connects to Capricorn, if that is the case, then that might just be indicating the sign of that person. Then this is saying that is a solid relationship, which it would be because you're both earth signs, and that would tend to make you very, very much in alignment when it comes to the way that you view the world. You do tend to be pragmatic, and that person will also share your views, and you can build a life together. Maybe that was a problem in your past relationship. I don't know if you were with a Pisces person, but for instance, Pisces is a water sign, and Pisces is not very, what would you call it? It's not very rational. Pisces is very impractical as a sign. Not talking about individual people, but as a sign, it's an impractical sign. It's ruled by Neptune, and it's represented by this moon card. So somebody like that, you might be aggravated, you know, dealing with them because they tend to not look at the world in the way that you do, and you might feel that it's just a battle trying to make them see how they should be according to you. And you don't have to do that with an earth sign like Capricorn. You're both on the same page, in other words. So I think that either it's saying something about an affinity with an earth sign, or that, again, you don't have to worry. Don't be in the first chakra or energy level of survival, where you think that you've lost not only a relationship, but a source of financial security, that you can stand on your own 2 feet and you'll be just fine. Okay, Taurus, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have an awesome October. Bye.